Hello, my friends. This is going to be a different type of reading today. I think it was like 2 months ago, I did a reading for Divine Masculines. And when I say Divine Masculines, I don't mean that you're a man in a counterpart connection. I'm talking about energy. So I'll often see like masculines that are the divine feminine or carry the greater divine feminine energy. And the feminine or woman is the masculine. Lots of feminines are actually are the divine counterpart in the counterpart connection. It's really not about gender, and it's not about man and woman, twin flames. It's about soul and soul. And we all have feminine and masculine energies within us. It's not about gender. So sometimes I'll get comments like, well, I'm the man. What does that mean? If you're dealing with a runner, then you're probably the divine feminine. But anyway, I wanted to do a reading for divine masculines. And they don't always get a ton of views, but I'm also of the mindset that if I put the message out there, that maybe it will come across a masculine who needs to hear it, a divine masculine who needs to hear it. I like to believe that if I put this out there somewhere, a divine masculine will stumble upon it accidentally through TikTok or whatever. So now I'm trying to connect with the divine masculines here. So if you're a divine masculine, you are probably dealing with a very intense connection that you don't really understand, and it could cause a lot of triggers within you. Perhaps you react maybe you have reactions to some of the behaviors of the feminine. It could be that you have a fear of commitment. Sometimes counterparts can be married, so it's possible that you are, a counterpart masculine who's married and you're having feelings, very strong feelings that you've never felt for your partner. You're having them for someone else. And I'm not talking about lust. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a strong soul connection. And what that means is, you can't really let go of this person's energy and you kind of compare everyone else to them. What could be happening is, you could be running from a connection with a feminine, not talking about gender, and perhaps you're not even aware of it. You could be someone who, typically whoever's in the masculine role is kind of avoidant. So you could be someone who puts off doing things, who, not in like an ADHD way, or someone who is afraid of commitment, or has a fear of commitment. Anyway, what was I saying? What I was going to say is typically the masculine is the one running from the connection. Maybe you have your counterpart feminine blocked. And it's possible that you are seeing lots of signs about this person. If you're seeing their birthday number or their name or things that remind you of them everywhere, that's not a coincidence. That's the universe sending you signs and trying to get you to listen to your intuition. So I wanted to channel the divine masculine today and just kind of look into how you're feeling, how your feminine is feeling, anything your feminine wants to say to you. I do a lot of this for feminines, so I thought I'd do one for the divine masculines. Also, it's good if you're a feminine. You can listen to this and kind of, I always find it, if I'm talking about you and about how you're feeling about this person and it's resonating, it's kind of like an inside look into what advice I'm giving the divine masculine. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. And I think I'm going to use this deck. It's called Into the Unknown, I believe. And it's Hanged Man in reverse. So my divine masculines, this is the energy of not wanting to surrender to that connection. It's Hanged Man in reverse is not wanting to surrender to that soul connection. It's not wanting to see the feminine's perspective, You could be very set in your ways about how you view this connection. You could be looking at it like very logically. There is a need to surrender here to this. And perhaps you've been resistant, you know? We have the Queen of Wands, so it feels like perhaps, you know, you do feel a very intense connection with this feminine. You feel drawn to this feminine. It could be that right now this feminine is, you know, doing really well, going through a glow up. They could be attracting a lot of attention. Maybe you're even looking at them on social media. But it's kind of this energy where there's a resistance to surrender to this spiritual connection. Perhaps there's the Two of Cups. So perhaps, you know, you weren't expecting to meet this person. You could have met them online. Your feminine could have been in the spotlight, or you. But there's a very like strong connection here, which I feel has been, there's this energy of blocking it here, like not wanting to see it, not wanting to surrender to it. So let's get into this. So I actually want to see I want to see your current energy, Divine Masculine. What is your current energy? What is your current energy? Oh, my friend. So it came, like, usually when a card comes out, I stop shuffling, and then the bottom of the deck that was there is there, that goes to the middle. And here we have the Ten of Wands. And this is exactly what I meant. It's like not wanting to surrender. So it looks like your current energy, it feels like you're experiencing karma, you're experiencing karmic moments in your life, karmic lessons, and perhaps you don't realize what that looks like. What that looks like is conflict in your life. You know, Ten of Wands for your current energy. It feels like maybe you have some baggage here you need to work through. It feels like you're really overwhelmed right now by this connection or just by everyday life. Perhaps you have a lot of responsibilities. Perhaps it's hard to choose yourself, you know. But this Ten of Wands and the Hanged Man in reverse is, you know, it's this energy of not wanting to surrender to this, not wanting to give in. And it's an interesting energy, you know, with Justice and the Ten of Wands. It feels like you're getting karmic lessons. It feels like, you know, things may be happening in your life right now that feel, maybe you're saying, like, the universe seems like it's against me right now, you know? It could be anything. It could be appliances breaking, car breaking down, fights with friends, fights with family, lack of finances, unforeseen expenses, unforeseen, you know, blockages. It feels very heavy. My heart's kind of pounding. And it does feel like the universe, because you're in Hanged Man in reverse, it's like the universe is like, wake up. Wake up. You made a wrong turn somewhere, you know? It seems like things are going downhill. And, you know, for some of you, maybe you are in a connection that, you know, you weren't expecting to meet your counterpart. And when I say connection, I mean a marriage. And perhaps, you know, you're trying to fight for that. You know, you don't want to be the person who has another failed marriage, or who people say, oh, there's that person who left their family for that other person. That's all. You need to make decisions based on you, is what I'm hearing. Anyway, it does feel like karmic justice here. And, you know, we've got the Four of Pentacles in reverse, so it feels like you're experiencing lack right now. You know, lack of enjoyment for life, lack of energy. Anyway, and your person, your feminine, may be evolving. Like, it feels to me, this energy that maybe you're watching them. Anyway, we're going to go to another part. Hang on. All right, so I want to see your feminine's energy, what your feminine is up to. So let's see what energy the feminine is in. we've got, very interesting, I'm not going to take the Two of Swords, but we've got the Nine of Cups and the Two of Swords. So what this is telling me, and we've got the Eight of Wands. So it feels to me like your person could be, your feminine could be struggling with wanting to reach out to you, wanting to chase you. It does feel like this feminine may be wanting communication from you with the Eight of Wands. With this Nine of Cups and the Two of Swords, it almost feels like your feminine is questioning their intuition. And I'm not sure how much you know about counterpart connections, but what this looks like to me is your feminine is wondering, is this my person? Like, they're my wish fulfillment. It's what my intuition is telling me I want, but it's like they're wondering. It's like a struggle between ego and soul here. And it could be, possibly you chose someone else over them. Anyway, it feels to me like your person, your counterpart, is trying to get out of this stagnant energy and, trying to focus on things that make them happy. Trying to find what happiness there is, because I feel like you're their wish fulfillment, but there's stagnant energy there, Let's see how your feminine is feeling about you. Let's see how the feminine is feeling about you. We have the Fool and the Hanged Man in reverse. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you right now. Your feminine is feeling this connection with you. We have the Queen of Wands. So this is someone who feels spiritually drawn to you. Very strong sexual desire here. But this is someone who is thinking about whether or not it's time to move on. And again, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Six of Swords. So this is someone who wants to reconnect with you, who wants to move into calmer waters, but is wondering, is it time for me to move forward? It says it all with this energy right here, the energy your person is in. It's like they want to move forward from this stagnant energy of no contact, no movement, towards what fulfills them. And we have the Fool here. So for how they feel about you, like it seems to me they're wondering, is it time to let go? And have a new adventure. And the feminine knows what's meant for them will come back if they release it. And this Hanged Man in reverse tells me a lot, because it seems to me like your counterpart feels like, you're stuck in your ways, that you're not surrendering to this. And honestly, it feels like this person is thinking, is it time to surrender this connection and move forward, is what we're seeing. Like I said, Six of Cups on the bottom. This is someone who's wondering, is it time to move forward? This person has a very intuitive connection with you, although sometimes they may doubt it. I think you do too. You may doubt it. You may not understand it. This person, if they're popping into your head, it's symbolic that they're thinking of you. Let's see there. I just want to get a few more for how your person is feeling about you. We have the Five of Wands. So this shows me your person wants resolution with you. Five of Wands in reverse and Two of Cups. So this person still wants resolution with you. They still want to deepen this connection if possible. But it looks to me like they're wondering, is it time to let go and move forward? And if it's meant for me, my counterpart will come back to me, I want to see how you're feeling about this counterpart. How are you feeling about your feminine counterpart? So you do have the Five of Swords, so it does seem like you're in your head about it. It does seem like maybe you feel like you sabotaged this in some way. It also feels to me, for some of you, like you feel like other people would have an opinion and you may be letting that get to you. you know? Maybe you have children, maybe you have a spouse, maybe you have, you know, whatever. It feels like there's someone back there that you're worried about judgment. And this is kind of spirit saying that's in your head. You know, it shouldn't matter what those people think. What should matter is what your soul is wanting you to do. This does show that you're very conflicted about this connection. We have the Page of Swords. So you're very curious about this person. There's a lot of swords here. So it seems like you're very curious about this person. Like I said, I felt like you were watching them on social media. So I'm not here to hate on you, but you could be keeping a close eye on their social media, you know? And we do have this energy where you're reflecting about this, where you're thinking about them. Lots of swords, so lots of thoughts happening about this person. I want to see advice for you, Divine Masculine. What advice do you need about this connection? We have the Knight of Swords. So this is an energy about communication, swift communication. And I'm being called to the movie My Best Friend's Wedding, where he says to her on the ship, if you love someone, say it. And that's kind of, you know, advice about this connection. I feel like maybe this person triggered you and maybe you became emotionally intense with all these swords. You could have had a lot of thoughts about this connection that made you act impulsively. And they're just thoughts, you know. Maybe this person triggered wounds within you that you became quite reactive. There is this energy that this person isn't chasing you anymore, you know? I believe what you need to hear right now, advice for you, is that this person still sees emotional fulfillment with you, but they're not chasing you anymore, you know? I almost feel like you would have to make that move. Interesting. Let's get some more advice for you. Advice for you. We have the Ten of Swords here. So it could be that, you know, there was a painful ending here. I do believe this person is waiting for you to communicate with them, because we have the Ace of Swords here and the Ten of Swords, and it feels like there was an ending. And in order to take those swords out, there has to be clarity and communication. I feel that this ending happened for a reason between you, so that there could be change, because I feel like things became stagnant before this ending. Let's look at the near future for you and your counterpart. Near future energy for you and your counterpart. So this wanted to come out, but it didn't. And we have Eight of Cups, which is symbolic of someone walking away. So near future energy, you know, symbolic of I felt your feminine detaching, which is a normal part of the counterpart experience. It's usually when you start to wake up. Look at this, near future energy. So this has two messages behind it. Either your counterpart knows their worth and they're walking towards different wish fulfillments. Remember that Two of Swords, making a choice. And the Nine of Cups. Do I go towards other wish fulfillments? I'm not saying other people. But in the near future, we see someone in their truth. I'm talking about your person. Possibly walking away. Knowing their worth. Knowing that if it's meant to be, it'll come back. I kept seeing letting go of that balloon, right? Which is weird, because I posted a thing this morning about, it was like a hand holding onto balloons. Anyway, the other thing I'm seeing near future energy is if you are in a committed connection, I see you walking away from it. Not but from this person, from spouse, karmic, whoever you're with, that's not this person. The Eight of Cups can symbolize realizing that happiness and fulfillment won't lie in the foundation you've already built, and that true fulfillment you need to. And that to have fulfillment and to have new life experiences, you must be willing to walk into new territory. So it can be very symbolic of you walking away from your current foundation and being honest with this person. This can also represent, you walking away from an ex. So if you have an ex in your energy who became a blockage in this connection, we see you walking away from that. So take it as it resonates. What does your counterpart want you to know? So let's get a channeled message from your counterpart. We do have a breakthrough moment in the future here, where you start to see this clearly. And I know it can be confusing, Oh, I know how confusing it can be, my friend. Let's see what your feminine wants you to know. What does your feminine want you to know? That's kind of... First of all, I just saw the King of Cups on the bottom, and I didn't mention it. And for what your feminine wants you to know is they're working on their self right now. They know the love they deserve. They're looking for reciprocal love. This is someone who has a lot of compassion towards you, who thinks about you a lot, who has a lot of empathy for you and the situation that you're in. What's really interesting is the card that came out was, I heard you can do it. Your feminine counterpart's higher self wants you to know that anything you want to make happen, you can make it happen. And that you have, unlimited potential here. It could be that you even have like a spiritual gift that you're meant to awaken through this connection and share with the world. You could be a magician and you could be dealing with a high priestess, and you guys could become a power couple. Anyway, I also feel like you may have been getting kind of like visions of a future with this person, and maybe that scared you. That's your higher self showing you future timeline potential, So anyway, I just want to get some of these spiritual infusion cards, which I usually use for counterpart readings. This is Divine Masculine readings new to me. But yeah, let's see what your feminine wants you to know, your feminine counterpart. Okay, so very interesting. Right here, we have love triangle and arrogance popping out. So there could have been third-party interference. And what I mean by that is maybe you already had a partner, or you have a karmic or an ex. Maybe, you're someone who's a parent that has like shared custody with your children, so you're very involved with your ex. And what I'm seeing is whatever that third-party interference was triggered your feminine's ego. And instead of... I feel like whatever happened, it says, I allowed my pride and ego to get in the way of our connection. And it came out with love triangle. So it feels to me like your feminine could have taken you having someone else or there being third-party interference, even if it was like time with friends. They could have taken it as there was something wrong with them. It could have triggered their ego to where they... argued with you in low vibrational energy. We have strategizing. So we see someone, I think it's interesting because we had that Queen of Swords. This gives me Queen and King of Swords energy. So this is someone who spends a lot of time strategizing about how they would talk to you, like if you were to reach out. I feel like this feminine thinks about how they could reach out to you, what they could say. I feel like this may have been a feminine who thought if they could just make you see their point of view, they could make everything better. Interesting. And we have... Interesting. We do have some immaturity here. So it could be your person, and again, I'm not saying this to hurt you, but your person, your feminine could view you as a player. They could view you as immature. And, I'll just explain it to you that most divine masculines go through a healing process, and in the midst of it all, they're like really Knight of Wands, which is super inconsistent, you know, fear of commitment. And like I said, this is subconscious. This is subconscious sometimes, not all the time. But I feel like your person thinks you're a player, and because there was inconsistencies. I'm not saying you're a player. It's just that's how masculines present, typically. So, you know, that's a really hard message to give you, that your feminine thinks that you are, you know, immature. But it's what's coming through. And if you're triggered by that, it could be that you are lacking maturity, you know? Usually, often when someone, I knew it, often when you're triggered by something someone is saying, it's because there's truth to it. We have patience. So it does feel like this feminine does have this Empress patience for you. It feels like maybe, though, that they're lacking patience, because this energy that I was feeling was like, should I let go of this balloon? So it feels like their patience is being tested right now. We have power couple, and that's exactly what I was seeing. So this person thinks that you could be very powerful together. Your feminine sees you as a power couple, so you could be very powerful together. So maybe you work together, or maybe this person, your feminine, maybe they're a high priestess and they see the potential within you. I feel like your feminine is kind of saying, if you follow me on this path, their higher self is saying this, if you follow me on this path, we're both going to turn into the highest versions of ourselves and be a power couple, you know? Very interesting. I'm just going to get a couple more, and then we'll get channeled messages. We have irresistible. I knew it. Irresistible. I cannot resist you. You're the best I ever have. You have my undivided attention. So it feels like this is someone who, like, even though you've been through stuff, they still are attracted to you. They still love you. They still want you. And I feel like this person, you know, has maybe even tried to look for love in other places and realized or found that nobody's energy compares to you. You know, when two people share a soul connection, what happens between them physically is, you know, something that's, it's hard to describe, the level of connection when it's a soul connection. It's very different than when it's a muggle connection, you know? And that can be quite shocking for people. It can be quite surprising. We have 5D. You made me realize that we are one. Meet me in the stars tonight. So your person wants to talk to you tonight in your dreams, you know? And that's what I said about keeping tabs on people. We can do it in our dreams. We can have dreams about our people. So let's get channeled messages from your, I almost said your love. So I'm going to use this deck for you, and we'll see what comes out. You could be this person's inspiration for creative endeavors. Okay. We have, there's one that fell on the floor. I'll get it. There's two. So we have, give me more time. I am not good enough for you yet. So it could be that your feminine is still on this healing journey as well. We have, I remember you. So this person does feel a soul connection with you. I love your sense of humor. Are you funny? You make them laugh. You are so precious to me. Things aren't always as they seem. Remember, if this person seems great, chances are they're not. I am terrified of you. So this person is terrified of getting close to you again. It's easier to stay away than lose you later. And that's what I meant, you know. Maybe this person is scared of losing you, so that's why they're not chasing you anymore, you know. That's, feminines hit that point. My whole body burns at the thought of you. Kundalini awakening, hello. I have tried telling you the truth so many times, but I just cannot for some reason. So communication could have been a thing here. We had that strategic card, so maybe this feminine tried to, you know, communicate with you in a way that made sense, but maybe they couldn't make it make sense, you know? You were the song of my heart, so music could be very symbolic. I feel like you were the song of my heart. Whenever your feminine hears a song, they think of you. Love isn't always on time. Please be patient with me. No one lights me up and inspires me like you do. Power couple. I know that the fire that burns in you is the same fire that burns in me, twin flames. So your counterpart is obviously aware that you're twin flames. Can you handle all my scars? So this person is still healing. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope that resonated. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon.